Welcome to the KFBK studios. A person who, if you do not know, you should know. Keith Breedlove of the Culinerdy Cruiser. How are you, Keith?
Hello. I'm good, man. And every time you say something like that, this is the thing in radio. You can't see how bright I'm smiling. It's ear to ear right now.
You're a really interesting guy. We have very little time. With radio, we could say you brought the food, but we'll just say if you had brought something unusual that you like to make, what would you have brought in today?
One of the things I've been working on really new lately is some different classic dishes and interpreting them in a new way. And this week I made a porchetta, which is a pork loin wrapped with pork belly.
That's a ham. That's ham in heaven, is what that is.
Yeah, so it's a pork loin, and I brined the pork loin in an apple cider brine, and then wrapped it with some fresh oregano and salt, and then wrapped a butterflied pork belly around it. Then I smoked it for about 3 hours, and then I finished it in the immersion circulator for 12.
You're a sous vide maniac. You're why I bought a sous vide cooker.
I love it because the quality is just so pure, and if you can't overcook it.
Yeah.
You really can't.
No, I know. You're preaching to the choir. I just love it. We're going to run out of time. I'm going to plug the Culinerdy Cruiser. And a great thing that has happened in this world is that food trucks got cool and upscale.
They're
and
fun.
Yeah, and how many food trucks have been voted in the top 100 best food trucks?
Just us.
In the nation, in the Sacramento area. Culinerdy Cruiser, nerdytruck.com.
Yep.
Thank you for popping by to speak with my friend.
Good to see you.
Okay, now we're going. Okay, because that was on the air, and now here's our little separate broadcast online. You have a fantastic story about how Alton Brown of the Food Network essentially saved your life.
Okay, well, and the funny thing is I got to tell this story to him. When I did Cutthroat Kitchen, during the second round of competition, I had to use, it was a cocktail party was the thing, and I got to use this alcohol and a bunch of small stuff, and I took a character of nitrous, and I put it in an ISI container, one of those whipped cream containers.
Yeah.
And I used the nitrous to fizz, and essentially I took a eggnog infused brandy and fizzed it like a soda.
Well, I think all of us would have done that.
Right. And he comes like that and goes, "What the heck are you doing?" I said, "I'm using nitrous to make a soda, of eggnog soda."
Yeah.
He's like, "Well, why nitrous and not CO2?" I said, "Because in season 3, episode 12 of Good Eats, you talk the difference between nitrous and CO2.
Alton Brown was the host of Good Eats many years before that.
It was Alton Brown's first show. And he stopped and he looked at me and goes, "That's pretty specific." I said, "Well," I have a story to tell you, and I'll tell you after I win this round, I'll tell you."
There we go.
And
and again, this is a true story, and it's fantastic.
And so I tell him the story, though. So I'm going to relate a story. Back in 2004, I was the executive chef at a Hilton hotel, and I was doing an ice carving, and the saw got caught in my gloves and pulled the saw into my hand. Essentially, it opened my hand from my thumb to my pinky, all the way to the bone.
I apologize for the gruesome part of the story, but it's worth it.
And it kind of was, I was afraid it was going to end my career. And I went through, they were like, "You have a year of rehab." They had my hands all attached to this thing to get my hand working again. And a friend of mine was teaching an ROP program in Fremont. They said, "They need a new instructor. How about you come teach while you rehab?"
Yeah.
Well, I like to talk, so why not? Well, I go interview, and I get offered the position, and they're like, "We have 5 classes a day for you." And I'm like, "Great."
And you've got no curriculum. You've never taught, you don't know what
I
you're
have
doing.
no curriculum, and by the way, school starts in 2 weeks. One of those weeks I was going to be in Hawaii with the family, and they hand me the class list, and it's 3 baking and pastry classes and 2 savory classes. Now, mind you, my only experience with baking and pastry is breads and plated desserts.
And bad ice carving.
Yeah. I was actually really good.
Okay.
That carving went out to the wedding that it was for. I was trying to do some it was during the winter, it was a long time.
Okay.
And so I jumped on Amazon and I ordered the entire seasons of Good Eats, everyone I could get. And I sat in front of the TV and watched every one start to finish. But then I started realizing that I figured I would get a quick lesson on how to do some stuff. And I went, you know what? These 30-minute videos are perfect lessons.
Yeah.
So I took episodes and turned them into lesson plans. Like a demo of this, because everything can be done in 30 minutes.
Yep.
So I set it up as demos and then for exercises around them. So I built an entire curriculum for my first semester out of Good Eats episodes.
Ripping off Alton Brown.
Yeah.
And which was great because it was cooking and it's science and it's math
And it's entertaining.
great stuff.
And then when I told him the story, his response was, that is the most wonderful thing I've ever heard about my shows being used. And I've since, I have them all still. I still use them. I still refer to them.
Tell me I would like him as much in real life as I like him on TV.
He is awesome.
That's great.
He's exactly what you see on TV.
That is great. All right, back to the Color Nerdy Cruiser. It's always fun to talk to you,
Thanks,
my friend.
man. Pleasure.
And,
Good to see you.
Thanks for putting up with this whole
Thank
thing
you.
online here at KFBK.